All right, well, hello adventurers. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It is I, Soloist Adventure, and today we are continuing the campaign of Vinekin's Revenge. And just a reminder, I'm going to be using three different tools. It is the Mythic Game Emulator, the Mythic Game Master Emulator, the Adventure Crafter, which is a supplement to that tool, and CAIRN. So I'm going to be using the CAIRN system. And I did get a request from one of my followers asking to do an actual live playthrough of me using those tools, and I'll do that for the next video. So for this one, I'm just going to be explaining kind of what happens in the story so far. And so yeah, I'll definitely make sure to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna be kind of changing the layout of how I'll be approaching this campaign. So yeah, let's get to it. So where we left off is Morgwen and Salo. It is the morning the next day. Morgwen barely slept just because her mind is so tangled in the quiet but constant pulse of the living trees in Everveil. But luckily, the forests remain still this morning. And so she gets up and she sees that Salo's up, and they decide to continue on their way to Thornmere. So you can see this is kind of the trail that they have to go to in order to get to Thornmere. And so they pack up, continue their journey north, and there's this quiet tension. She is kind of stressing out about kind of why Kevin, this spirit of the forest, like why the vines like move and why they always snap at like passing travelers. And so, as she's kind of deep in her thoughts as they're traveling, Salo, he's known to be kind of an outgoing kind of guy. And so he breaks the silence, wants to get to know Morgwen. But if you've watched my kind of teaser for this video, you'll see that Morgwen's background, I rolled on the CAIRN tables, and this is what popped up. She has a background of being a mercenary. She comes from a family of mercenaries who are also rich nobles. And basically, what happened is her dad got into a lot of debt, and now the people that he owes money to, they basically want to target and unalive her family. And so her and her twin sister are basically on the run. So that was 3 years ago, and she just kind of wants to start over and doesn't want anyone to know her background. And so, anyways, so as he's like kind of wanting to get to know her, she kind of changes the subject and starts asking about his friend whom they ran into yesterday at the encampment, Martin, and he was the one who kind of sang this like story about Kevin and the spirit of the forest. And Salo explains that Martin is actually a member of the Wildebourne Chapel. And the Wildebourne Chapel is actually up here in Thornmere. And so he basically tries to um, let Morgwen know to not stress about Kevin. He's simply just trying to protect this region of Everveil. And so she kind of just reminds herself about that. I think it's the fact that as she was traveling and these vines started to like grab her and snap at her, I think it just really haunts her and stresses her out as she's going through the region. And so as they are kind of along the way here, they actually get stopped by this I'll use this guy, this young wizard actually. And so a few miles later, the rhythmic sound of hooves and creaking of wheels of a wagon begin to grow louder behind them. Oh, I'll put her behind them. And they turn around and they see that it is a young female half elf sitting on the front of a wagon wearing a pointy hat and some old, worn, and tattered clothes. And she smiles and perks up at the travelers and she says, "Hello, do you need a ride to Thornmere? I'm heading that way too. I do need to stop by the Thornmere School of Magic. But other than that, I can, more than happy to help you both get to the town." And so Morgwen's instincts are just screaming to remain guarded and stay distant from, just another newcomer that she's seeing. And so she says no, but Salo's like, "Come on, let's just take the offer because it is a long way to Thornmere, and so on wagon, it will be obviously faster than on foot." And so the young wizard introduces herself as Micah. She is a wizard in training, so that is why they're stopping by the school to pick up some books from the library. And so they hop onto her wagon here, and then they stop by over here the School of Magic. And so they finally made it to the entrance of the school, and you can just see that Everveil's vines surround the school, stone buildings as if in harmony with the structures. There are students that you can just see walking around the campus in their uniforms, and they're rushing to class. And there is a bell tower over here that rings out 3 times and it echoes throughout the campus, signaling that the next class is about to begin. And so the young wizard says, "I'll be right back. I just need to stop by the library." And so she heads to the library, and Salo and Morgwen are waiting for her. And Morgan whispers to Salo that she just doesn't trust Micah, this wizard, because she notices that she doesn't have a school uniform, and all the other students on the campus are wearing a school uniform. And so Salo does admit that it is a little bit odd that she's kind of running around with like worn, tattered clothes. And suddenly, Morgwen turns around and she sees that Micah is actually speaking to a group of men about, I would say, probably about like 10 feet away from the wagon. And she's like, "Oh shit." Morgan recognizes that this group of men are actually the same bandits that she was running away from last night. And so she turns to Salo, "We need to act fast. We shouldn't have trusted her." And so that's kind of where the story ends right now. I'm really excited for how the story is turning out. But next time, for the next video, we're going to be doing a live playthrough of kind of how the story progresses and what Morgwen and Salo do to try to avoid these this group of bandits. And so yeah, I'm really excited. You can check out my blog. I actually am also dabbling in some creative writing as well, and I will be writing out kind of the story too, and also the dialogue between the characters in this blog. I'll link that in the description. But yeah, that's it for now. I just want to say thank you for hopping along on this journey of my CAIRN campaign. And next time you'll see an actual live playthrough of how I do my little solo TTRPG sessions. So thank you again, adventurers. We'll see you next time.